Good evening and welcome to the Stephen Knight Show. Hope you had a great Monday. We're going to try our best to make it even better. We're breaking out the hot topics everyone's talking about. Trump is now vowing to add 100% tariffs to movies made outside of the U.S. Bad Bunny has been selected to headline next year's Super Bowl halftime show. Of course, there's controversy about that. Young Thug addresses his leaked calls and his views on how he would feel if his girlfriend sought out therapy in a recent interview. Then later on, Juanita Bynum is receiving backlash for a request that she made during church service. Solange Knowles launches St. Heron's Library and Digital Archive, and actor Matthew McConaughey, reveals why he went close to a decade without speaking to his mom. All that and much more. Want to remind you all over social media, Facebook, Blue Sky, X, and of course our YouTube channel, The Stephen Knight Show. Please subscribe, please comment, let us know what you think. Again, this is Hispanic Heritage Month, and it's a month that's observed here in the United States, celebrated annually from September 15th to October 15th to honor the cultures, histories, and contributions of Americans who trace their heritage to Spain, Mexico, and the Spanish-speaking nations of Central America, South America, and the Caribbean. And so, shout out to everyone who celebrates, and it's more than ever time that we recognize those individuals. But before we get into the show, I know that Chike and Linnea had a very adventurous weekend and went to a great event. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah. Uh, Faith Evans has had her first inaugural ball for her Writers Room Incorporated Foundation. And again, that foundation is geared toward people with autism. And what it does is it gives information and guidance to the caregivers of people with autism or anywhere on the spectrum. And it's an informational portal to help guide you along and make things better for your caregiving needs. And it's basically based off of her own personal needs when she was dealing with her son Ryder.
Mhm.
And it's information that she didn't have, and she's basically showing you where the bear is in the woods before you go down the same path that she did. So it was wonderful. It was a entire weekend event. There was one after party that we missed because we were so tired. Like, and can I tell you that Miss Faith Renee Evans knows how to party? She knows how to party.
Yeah.
We met so many people. There were so many stars. There were so many legends. I like Linnea, please chime in, help me out. Like, what was
Uh,
your experience?
I'm tired, and it's Monday. Uh, all right. First, let me just say this. Let me shout out to all the other volunteers because we
Yeah.
did some work.
Mhm.
So that would be Sadir, Gia, Fran, Montrell, Angel, Kiana, Beasia, and Latanya. And to our volunteer headmaster, who is Adia. Adia was amazing. And the whole, we did Friday, we did the pre party intro. Listen, this is when I know I'll be old because I'll be tired. But we had a good time. There was Elder Barge, Christopher Williams, Freeway, Little C's, Redman, Mike Epps. They honored some amazing people in the city of Newark. So Newark was like a whole
And
situation.
MC Light. Let's not forget about
And
MC Light.
MC Light was the head mistress
Yeah.
of ceremonies for the evening. So it was an amazing event. And it was just so much going on in Newark in general, because Faith's Gala wasn't the only one. It was one right around the corner too. And then there was
Wow.
something else going on. So it was a lot going on, but I'm tired.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw
Yeah.
Faith promoting it on Tamron Hall's show, and then I saw some other interviews she did as well. And they also recognized that she had been in the business 30 years. Isn't that crazy? But
So
yeah, I'm
funny
glad.
that you mentioned that
Funny you mentioned.
because part of our gifts was, this commemorative shirt for 30
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
And on the back of the shirt, it has the track listing for the entire first album,
First
and
album.
it gives you a little synopsis of what each song represents and what it means.
Wow. Wow, that's dope. Well, shout out to Faith. She's been on our show 3 times. And so yeah, definitely I'm glad the event went very well. I'm glad you all enjoyed and were able to go. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, our question of the day is, what is the biggest lesson that employment has taught you? I'll start with you, Brittany.
Oh, like from like our HR perspective, or just
Well,
like being on the other
just from
side,
working. Yeah, just working.
always negotiate.
Yes.
Always negotiate your pay. Don't ever take the first offer. Interview them back. Like, don't just, you're not there to just be the only one interviewing. Ask
Right.
your questions. They're gonna give you a space, interview them back. Make sure the job is the right fit for you. Get all your questions in. They usually be like, have time for 2 or 3 at the end. Make sure you have questions. And just come prepared for an interview when you do have one scheduled. Don't show up and half-ass it.
Right, yeah. What about you, Lanier? What's the biggest lesson employment has taught you?
Use all your time.
Yes. Your
Don't
PTO.
leave no
Oh, yeah.
time on the table
Yes.
because there are two ways this can go. Uh, the bad way is if you check up out of here, oh, your position is filled as soon as you're gone.
Yeah.
The other thing is, well, I'm here and I got this time. I need to use it and not feel like you're obligated to give these people more than what is required. Because I know that and I'll speak for myself. In the beginning of your work career, you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna move and I'm gonna do this. And I've learned I'm gonna give you what you pay me for and nothing more.
Mhm.
Period.
Yeah.
Especially with this last job that I had. And learn that it's okay to walk away. Um, you don't have to stay somewhere where you're not valued, where you're not appreciated, where you're not respected. It's okay to walk away, um, and find something else, do something else, but you don't have to stay in a situation where you're unhappy.
Yeah. Yeah. Chiki, what about yourself?
Uh, ugh. So since I've been working since I was 14,
Hmm.
um, in generalization of it all, I would say work has taught me life skills, um, social interaction, all of what Brittany said, all of what Linnea said, and also it taught me my self-worth over the years because you're not the same person through different
Right.
stages in life,
Yeah.
and from working ever since I received my working papers when I was legally allowed to, I'm growing and I'm changing throughout the years. So it's basically life skills. It's taught
Yeah.
me a lot.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. I said, don't take things personal and keep personal and work life separate. Um, I think that's very important. I like some of the other responses we got. Someone said, "Trust no man." Karen said, "What it taught her is that she wants to be a kept woman." um, uh, Jaren said, "To never work for anyone else." Zuri said, "Being good at your job you'll be rewarded with more work." And Katie said, "Lord, that you are no one even if you think you are." Oh, at work. And then Will said, "It's taught me that a regular 9 to 5 isn't always sufficient. Look for ways to bring in side and secondary income." But we had quite a few. So yeah, I definitely think that we should learn. I think everything that I'm doing in this role, all the experience I had, prepared me for the roles that I'm in. And so there's something you can
Hmm.
pick up, even if it's when I was working at a call center, customer service skills, things like that. There's something you can learn from each job, whether you like it or not. There's something you can learn. But yeah,
Hmm.
let us know on Blue Sky or X. What's the biggest lesson that employment has taught you? Stephen Knight Show on X and The Stephen Knight Show on Blue Sky. All right. Well, Donald Trump isn't letting the tariffs at all. Let up on the tariffs at all. His new target seems to be the movie industry. He says our movies making business has been stolen from the United States of America by other countries, just like stealing candy from a baby. California, with its weak and incompetent governor, has been particularly hard hit. Therefore, in order to solve this long time, never ending problem, I will be imposing 100% tariff on any and all movies that are made outside the United States. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America Great Again, President DJT. He put that on True Social. Now, with the details of the tariffs being unclear, it's important to note that a few things. Many major movie studios produce their films outside the United States for tax incentives. Companies like Marvel Studios shoot quite a bit of their movies in the UK. This could greatly impact Hollywood in the form of production costs, quality, and could potentially trickle down to box office prices. Now, Trump first mentioned the idea of the movie tariff back in May, with industry's insiders stating that it could basically bring movie production to a hard stop. I'll start with you, Chike. You and Lena, I'm interested to hear your opinions. But what are your thoughts on this tariff, Chike?
I mean, he's trying to tear down Hollywood. I mean, what type of films are we going to be looking at moving forward if we're forced to only use the United States as a location point?
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't have such films as a James Bond.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have big, epic, global, transcontinental storylines anymore because they're going to be too expensive to make.
Yeah.
You won't be able to. I mean, because if we're really looking at anything outside of the United States, we're talking actors, we're talking producers, we're talking directors. You know, a lot of movies that we love, a lot of those directors aren't necessarily American. They don't necessarily live here.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going to happen?
Yeah. You know, I was always told to travel the world and to expand your mind. Like he's trying to keep everything here in America. I
Mm-hmm.
wonder if it's because Linear retaliation, because you know a lot of Hollywood is against him. Is this his way of sticking it to the man, to Hollywood? What are your thoughts on all this?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The underlining is always going to be, if you are not with me, you are against me.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to try to destroy everything that it is. We're
Mm-hmm.
not saying that Hollywood is a perfect infrastructure,
Right.
but you're as you're destroying everything else, you want to destroy that as well. It's not, I'm not surprised. And
Mm-hmm.
you already mentioned it, which is one of the big things, and why production companies do what they do overseas,
Mm-hmm.
is the tax incentives. Like the same big tax breaks that you love to give
Right.
rich, those same tax break, they like, so that's the tax incentives for film production companies, so they can shoot their films, still be able to afford and try to stay on budget as much as they can. When you're here in the United States, that is hard.
Yeah.
Now, I will say Jersey is really trying to make, a dent in that with having a new tax incentive for production companies. That's why Netflix is interested in being in Jersey, and they're supposed to be opening. I don't know if it's open yet. Supposed to be opening a location in Jersey for
Mm.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Still, when it comes to that tax incentive, if there's a beautiful landscape and it's going to cost me less to shoot it somewhere overseas, I'm not going to want to shoot it here, especially if I can get all my people there, do what we need to do, and get back, and then
Right.
fill in where we need to fill in at. But we already, for those of us in that good old over 90%, that knew what was coming down the pipe, it's kind of like at this moment, I'm not numb to it. It's
Yeah.
just like, what's next?
Exactly. That's what
What's
it is.
next? Because I got nothing.
And you think about some iconic films, like think about a Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
They're filmed overseas.
Yeah.
We don't get those epic films anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get those grand scale, beautiful landscapes, the same cinematography that you would get, like some of those epic battle scenes in war movies. You have to go overseas to film that, because what do they do in America? They build everywhere. There's a building, there's a farm, there's a house. Everywhere in America, land is taking up. Where you find grand open space is in Ireland, it's in Canada, New Zealand. You know, what's going to happen?
Yeah. Brittany, what are your thoughts on this?
I was I don't really go to the movies. I mean, it's gotten real ghetto because of the YNs and stuff. So the movie culture for me be Xfinity on demand now. Like maybe I've just gotten old. Like, so I wait for it to come on TV. But I do appreciate, I did go see Gabby Dollhouse with my daughter in the matinee. And
Mm,
I kind of I like the nostalgia of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though I don't go that often now, I kind of like appreciate
right.
how I used to go every Friday night with my friends and stuff
Mm,
like that. However, I was thinking on the disappointing side is that Marvel's leaving Georgia.
yeah.
And so it's a lot of people that I know personally that work in the movie industry in Georgia. They work at Trilla Studios and some other things. Walking Dead was filmed here. There's so much being
Mhm.
done here. A lot of those people have been laid off, are not working, are not brought back onto movies. And now that just adds to the pipeline, along with teachers, along with um I think some they were saying nurses or somebody just got furloughed at another company, or was it teachers that got furloughed in Atlanta? Like, and it just adds to the pipeline of unemployment,
Yeah.
along with the reduction in workforce at the government, along with the CDC here. And there's so many people that are like struggling to find jobs, and he's just shutting
Yeah.
everything literally down.
Yeah, every industry's being impacted by tariffs and everything else he's doing. But to your point about movies being ghetto, they are. I was at a very nice theater on Friday and I heard a phone ring. Hello? I'm at the movies. This is mid-movie. Mid-movie. No, I'm at the
I
movie.
don't
Still watching the movie. I'm still I'm thinking.
I don't understand. Like, just turn it off. Like, we just went to the movies. Like, we went to the movies Sunday because
Uh-huh.
that was our free day.
Right.
And Jay and I went to the movies while we were up in Newark,
Yeah.
and we went to go see him.
Oh yeah.
And I love the fact that it wasn't crowded
Mhm.
and everybody was spread out
Right.
and nobody did anything ghetto or stupid during that movie,
Right.
except for when one certain part came on. We was like, yes. But
Oh
other
yeah.
than that, that was it.
Yeah. Well, Bad Bunny locked down one of the biggest opportunities in music, and that's the halftime show for Super Bowl in 2026. Rock Nation, NFL, and Apple Music dropped the bombshell that the Puerto Rican icon will own the stage during the Dallas. They announced it during the Dallas Cowboys and Green Bay Packers matchup this past Sunday. He said, "I've been blessed. He even blessed fans with a slick Instagram video, chilling on top of the goalposts on the beach while Calenta played in the background." He said, "What I'm feeling goes beyond myself." Bad Bunny, he said to Rolling Stone, "It's for me. It's for those who came before me and ran countless yards so I could come in and score a touchdown. This is for my people, my culture, and our history." And then he made a statement in Spanish. Now Jay-Z, the brains behind Rock Nation, stood proud after the announcement. He says what Benito has done and continues to do for Puerto Rico is truly inspiring. We are honored to have him on the world's biggest stage. Now, of course, the right wing supporters have something to say. He's not even American. Puerto Rico is part of America. His songs are not even in English. I saw people on X, of course, that's the biggest troll and going off about him. Um, Bad Bunny, he just ended a residency in Puerto Rico where he brought millions of dollars to the island.
Mhm.
He refused to tour within the United States because he was afraid that his fans might run
Yep.
into ICE when they're attending the concert. And so why do you think, people, I was watching this podcast today and they were wondering, they thought that it was interesting because recently the NFL, some of the teams, they did a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk at games. And so they feel like that the NFL sometimes makes missteps, how to treat Colin Kaepernick. But then now they're having Bad Bunny perform, and we know everything that's going on with ICE and with immigration. So let me start with you, Linnea. What are your thoughts on him being asked to perform and what they're really trying to signal?
So my thought process is you have Jay-Z on one end doing what he does.
Yeah.
Now, the NFL has signed a contract with this man.
Yep.
So, he is entitled to make these decisions in a way. The same way that what you just mentioned about them doing that for that man, which should not have happened. I don't care what nobody says. It should not have happened.
Yeah.
But I will say this, baby, let me brush up on my Spanish for Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Because whoopa, I'm gonna be ready for the Super Bowl. I don't care if he's singing in English, I don't care if he's singing Spanish, but for him to leave, and when a person chooses not to tour somewhere that's leaving money on the table, that's a statement. That's a serious statement. You're leaving money on the table. You said, I ain't doing nothing in the US. He got my respect for that, because he could have easily been like, I want to make my money.
Right.
So he hit the US. Of course, everybody goes everywhere, but he could have been like, I want my money, but that wasn't important to him. He wanted to make sure his people were safe. You see how that works? I want to make sure my people are safe.
Right.
Because right now, no one's safe. Well, we ain't safe.
Right. Yeah. Gloria Estefan, she was on Sherry Shepherd today, and she said that when she first saw him perform in Spanish on SNL, how it really touched her, because that was unknown back in her day, that a Spanish-speaking song was performed live on TV. But Brittany, what are your thoughts on this selection of Bad Bunny?
I like his the fact that he has a thought and that he stands behind it. I don't know much about him,
Yeah.
so I probably won't be watching. I don't watch football, and I don't know who this person is.
Yeah.
I'm all for it though. Like, I love me some J-Lo. I love Gloria. I just don't know Bad Bunny, or his music. I'm an old school girl. Sorry.
TK, so a lot of people think, because the owner of the NFL, he was been seen in the White House, kissing the ring for Trump. And Trump, Bad Bunny has spoken out against Trump, very publicly. Do you think Trump will apply pressure to get this changed, and will it happen? What are your thoughts?
First of all, you are more Bad Bunny. I'm a fan. I've been a fan.
Yeah.
So I'm happy about this choice. That would be pushed back on a much grander scale, because this is so in the front of everything. From my standpoint, and what my belief is, the NFL is America. They basically they basically run America.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. It's a lot of money on the table with that. And I do think that they have to know or suspect that there are going to be some jabs in there from Bad Bunny, because he's controversial.
Yeah.
I, for one, am about spinning the wheel. Everybody gets a turn.
Yeah.
And there's some years that we don't tune into the halftime show because we're not interested in the musical guests.
Right.
Like when they do all country music, there may be one performer in that set that I may want to listen to, because there's some country music that I like.
Yeah.
They may go in another direction and I won't look at it at all. Everybody gets a turn at the wheel. I'm not mad. They can't appease me every year, but I think everyone should have a turn at the wheel. And while we're at it, why not have some symphony battles? Classical music. You're doing everything else. Let's have that. Let's have the battle of some symphonies, or the battle of the conductors, or invite some collegiate bands to come do the halftime show. I think we need to spin the wheel around for everybody. Let everybody be included in this.
Yeah.
It would make it more fair and more, it'd be more diplomatic. But
I'm with
our
Chike.
administration doesn't do that.
You with Chike?
I'm with Chike. If he features somebody good, I'll watch.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's
Like,
always.
Wait. What you mean if he features somebody good? He's good.
I mean, I don't know. But if he comes and he be like, yeah, J-Lo gonna do the other thing with me, or somebody else Hispanic gonna do it with me, I'll jump on and I'll watch the people I like. Because I don't watch the game.
Yeah.
So, do you remember the year that Shakira and J-Lo did it? And it was a very, they rocked the hell out of it. And I'm not a J-Lo fan,
Me either.
but they killed it.
Yeah,
Killed it.
I like J-Lo and Shakira. I watched that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. They said it'd be interesting to see if he brings one out because in his residency, his last show, I think it was last week, he brought out Mark Anthony in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. All right, so Young Thug admitted that he felt corny and lame hearing himself talk about friends on leaked jail calls, especially conversations about Little Baby, who he calls his little brother. Despite the headlines, he says Drake didn't care about the leaked calls and stood firmly by him. Bruh, I love you, F them. Drop the music, bro. Let the music talk. Drake texted him after everything surfaced. The Thug praised 21 Savage and Drake as some of the realest people he's ever met. Now, here's a controversial thing he said in the interview. He said that he would feel less of a man if his girlfriend, Mariah the Scientist, ever sought therapy instead of coming to him. He even called it a slap in the face. Now, people are saying it's given toxic masculinity, the idea that a woman chooses to prioritize her mental health and talk to a professional somehow makes a man feel small is exactly why so many people need therapy in the first place. I saw you sit back. What are your thoughts on, I think his conversations leaking, the people that support him, I think that's a good thing. But I think what's really caught my attention was the fact that he would feel less of a man if his girlfriend sought therapy. What are your thoughts?
I want y'all to stop talking about this old ass man. I want y'all to stop talking about this old ass man. I don't know this man. I don't care about this man. This man has no sense at all. You want to know why? For him to say she should come to me instead of going to therapy.
Right.
A dude that cheats on her, a dude that gets locked up, she should come to me instead of going to therapy. A dude that done told another chick, let me knock you up, or I'm going to be with you, or I'm going to love you. Don't go to a therapist. Don't go to a therapist to make yourself better. Come to me so I can keep you where you are.
Yeah.
On a recorded line with the feds listening. Call me on a recorded line with the feds listening.
Can't even put together a complete sentence. But you don't want her to go to therapy so she can heal whatever trauma she has, so she can move her ass away from you. That's what it is. And you don't want her to shine. I don't know, just how Brittany said about Bad Bunny. I know Bad Bunny, but I don't know Mariah the Scientist. Mariah, I don't know her, but I hear that she can sing or she can perform, and that man is dimming her light.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, she don't see it. And she's not going I hope she don't get pregnant by this man.
Oh Lord.
He's a man child. Let me correct myself and I'm finished.
Brittany, what are your thoughts? I thought about you because I wasn't even going to talk about this until I read that part about the therapy. What are your thoughts?
Why you thought about it? I have so many thoughts on this. So of course Drake going back Drake canceled too. Like he mad. Don't nobody fuck with him either. Like so he like I've been there, done it.
Right.
21 almost got deported back to Canada. So he talking about everybody on the outs. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
He like, Mariah, don't talk to them, talk to me, and I'm gonna put it on the recorded line and talk to somebody else about it. And
Right.
then it's gonna get leaked, and then you ain't got no HIPAA rights. Mariah, run. Go to somebody that has to keep your secrets. Like, girl, don't tell that nigga nothing. And then he was on the Ryan Clark show talking about how he wanted to cry in court, but couldn't because the cameras was in his face and he ain't want to be seen as no punk. He emotions like, right, let alone handle my bad day. I would go through, as a woman, I go through so many emotions in 2 hours. I could not imagine dropping my load off on him. He, it, I, yeah, no. But I did see that he did do a free concert outside of Fulton County,
I
and
saw
that he
that shit.
definitely still has fans show up. And I did see that he tweeted that he was having suicidal thoughts
Yeah,
Go see a
because
therapist.
right. Yeah, he tweeted, "I need real love in my
whatever.
face. I need real love in my face. Peace and blessings on my face. Let my love spread. This ain't phase. Blaming Jesus for my faith." And then he had said something about, "I'm happy and sad. A therapist can heal this shit."
What?
He
He
Oh,
said
said something.
what?
a therapist can't heal this shit. That's what he said.
Oh,
Yeah, he said if he didn't have kids, he wouldn't be alive right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
And then he dropped a song, and everybody got white face. Did you see
yeah.
that?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I the man, I don't know what happened
Go
in
through some stuff.
prison. I've never been to prison. I cannot say that maybe not you lose your mind. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Chike, Lanier made a good point about not wanting her to get that help because it may give her the strength to see some things, reveal some things to her, and maybe she will walk away. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's dead on.
Yeah.
So I'm personally, I'm not a believer in toxic masculinity. I
All
don't
right.
like that term. Um, I think he's ignorant. I think that he's misguided. I think that probably whatever was poured into him to get him where he is, probably the trauma in his childhood that led up to him being the man that he is,
Mhm.
probably helped facilitate the being that he is now. And the fact that he's unwilling to look outside of what he believes or perceives is the truth or reality. And by the way, all the things that I'm saying are the things that you can acquire in therapy.
In therapy, yeah.
You would want to go talk to somebody to deal with all that stuff that you're talking about that's negative and the things that you're suffering from and going through turmoil with your internal, because that's what therapy helps you work out.
Yeah.
Maybe you could have a successful relationship. Maybe you wouldn't have to go and run your mouth to your friends over an open line. You can talk to your therapist and it would be private and you
Yeah.
would get the help that you need so you could be more balanced so you don't emit toxic masculinity.
Mhm.
It's okay for you to be the tough guy. It's okay for you to have the image that you have, but understand in that image what damage you're doing by portraying this out to anyone else outside what's in your head because
Yeah.
you're crazy.
And therapy was the best thing I did for myself. And I think what is sometimes hurt people, and he probably scared of her getting that freeing her mind and healing her demons, and because he don't want to face what he has to deal with. But I know there's one girl that said one time, Miss Parker who used to be on the show, she said she won't even date a man if he's ever been to therapy.
Well,
and
part
that
of
should
it
be a
too, Stephen,
requirement.
is that when you go to therapy, it's empowerment.
Yes.
It gives you power
Yep.
to be able to make your own decisions, make
Yeah.
wiser choices. And part of that is control. He doesn't want her to get away from him. So, no, he doesn't want her to go to therapy. He wants her to divulge into him because he knows all her little secrets. He knows all the buttons to push to control her.
Yeah.
If she goes
That's
to
a good
therapy,
thing.
she's going to realize what did the guy say in that meme? She's above him
Yeah.
and she doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
That's a real thing when it comes to triggers and
Yeah.
buttons. People who know how to push your buttons and they know your triggers, as long as they know that they still have that power,
Right.
there. So what Chike and I talk about with certain things, like when people like to try to creep back in, testing the temperature,
That's what it is. Temperature test.
and when they know that, for somebody who got 6 children with 4 different women, she don't need to be with him.
Mhm.
She don't
But
need to
that's
be.
the other thing I was gonna say to Lania and Chike's point. when Thug got with Mariah was still up and coming and she wasn't on his level. So he had that over her, the status, the money. And so right now he's on the bottom again, but after the whole trial, he can't perform in Atlanta, he has all these stipulations for pleading guilty, like then all the calls leak, nobody messing with him no more, like, and now she's on top in her music. She's a beautiful girl already. Then she don't have no kids. So like the more she constantly elevates, I think she needs to pay attention to where she was when she found him and where he knows is about to go, and he's doing his best to keep her like
Well,
on his
look at the
coattails.
optics. Look at the optics. Her life is opening up and his is closing. How are you equally yoked that way? And when she realizes that they're not, she's going to go. And he knows this.
And if you peep it, right? When he started going through what he was going through, she started to ascend.
Yeah.
Like, you have to look at the dynamic of when he started going through that stuff. And I mean, yes, she stayed by him all this time, but she started to ascend because he was inside.
Right.
He wasn't out. So he wasn't able to, grab hold of and pull back, because what happened, and I think we already talked about it, when he got out and there was a show, he didn't want her to have no shine.
Yeah, the VMAs, yep.
He didn't want her to walk on the carpet, like, and have her shine. And that was when he got out. Now that you see, when he wasn't out, you saw some of her light. I know that people close to her had to have noticed that, because when somebody is like that, they dim your light. So I know people around her said, yo, you're not you. Your light is not. With him around, your light is out. But when
it's
he
the
was
age gap too. And I think it's the age gap too, Linnea. Like, men get with younger women, and I think they know what they're doing when they get with that huge age gap. She hadn't discovered herself yet. She didn't know her voice yet. She didn't know she don't have no kids. She ain't lived half the life he didn't live. Like, and he got with her for a reason, because he could have that control over her. And like Linnea said, the moment he went away and she started living a little bit, she started to elevate. So God forbid she go get some healing. Good God, she'll be like, what did I see in him? Because boy, that boy look like a roach.
And I also think that if she finds a partner or come in contact with someone who's whole, working on themselves, hopefully someone who is going to therapy, it's going to open her eyes up and her heart up to what love can be when it's balanced and it's healthy.
Yeah.
Because it ain't this.
Y'all go to jail, then whoop-de-doo.
When we go back, Juanita Bynum is receiving backlash for a request she made during church service. Solange Knowles launches St. Heron's Library and Digital Archive. And actor Matthew McConaughey reveals why he went close to a decade without speaking to his mom. Right back after this.